Hey guys, it's Extreme Strategy here, and welcome to another Total War Warhammer 3 video. And on this one, I'm going to be doing something very interesting. I'm going to be discussing my picks for the top 5 Total War Warhammer 3 units. And what I want to do is I'm going to go over these, and then in the comment section I want you guys to post what you think should be the top 5 units are. But anyway, let's hop right into it. So the first one we're going to be discussing today is going to be the Sky Junk. Now there's a very specific reason for this. It is a support unit that is flying. So what this means is that these units cannot actually get hurt from melee units on the ground. So the only way to kill these is to either use flying units or to shoot them up with arrows. Now, getting shot up can be a bit of a challenge for these Sky Junks. However, they do have rocket launchers, as you just saw from the opening, because literally they start firing the second the battle starts. You do not get any time to wait. Plus, they also have these little rifles that shoot projectiles out as well, meaning that they can do a ton of damage. Now, this is stacked with something else that makes them very powerful, and that is a Harmony Amplifier plus 25%. So this buffs the Harmony bonuses that are gained from Grand Cathay naturally by 25%, making this an even stronger support unit. This is why this is being ranked as number 5, and it's not going to be the normal rocket cannon, and it's actually the Sky Junk, is because it's Harmony Amplifier right here that the Sky Junk has that the normal rocket cannon does not have. And also it has some very nice stats, and it can take a bit of a beating in the air, as you will soon see, but it is a spotting, which is nice. And then it has bombs, which you will also see near the end of this battle. It also just has some really nice models. That's another reason that I was selected as number 5 was, graphics were not a major part in it, but yeah, those little projectiles, those are the darts. The graphics was not a major part in this. It came down to devastation in the battlefield. And I saw a bunch of exalted blood, these are the bloodletters, I believe? Yes, bloodletters of Khorne go flying. Now, it is not the greatest at killing units. It generally just stuns them and knocks them back. It is meant to give support, buff the harmony, boost the troops on the ground, and more of help out than really do damage. The major drawbacks to this is, one, that's large. 2, as I just said, it doesn't kill units, it does damage. I mean, it does a lot of damage. These guys are very much injured. Mind you, they have 3 Sky Junks shooting at them, so I'd be a little surprised if they were not injured. And of course, the enemy does this sort of stuff, where they just line up on the ground, and they can take a bit of a beating, but the drawback is that the only way to really protect these guys is to either use flying units or kill everything that can potentially harm them. Not a very good situation to be in, where you literally have to choose between more flying units to help, and here goes the first bomb, more flying units to help, or do we more go for just hoping to kill anything that could potentially harm these guys, like a exalted bloodthirster, because he's doing decent damage to the Sky Junk, and the Sky Junk has no way to protect himself from the exalted bloodthirster. So that's why these guys are ranked as number 5. They're big, they're clunky, they do tons of damage, they're excellent at support, but protecting them is an absolute pain in the neck. Now let's move on to number 2. Coming at number 4, don't ask me why I just said number 2 a second ago, or a second ago with editing, I should say. So anyway, coming at number 4, we have the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. Now, there's a reason why this one took the place of the other Soul Grinders. Although Khorne and Nurgle are a lot more tanky, these guys are very similar to the Sky Junks, meant to be support. They have their barrier, they are armor piercing, they do magical damage, have really good stats, be engaged in a fray, take some damage, and not even be taking actual damage for at least a little while. And as I said, they do very nice damage. They also look amazing, but looks are secondary to performance, of course. That's just a well-known fact of life. You only want to use that which is effective and that which is powerful. So these animations, although they look absolutely amazing, and they are very powerful projectiles that are being used here. Just take a look at that. That killed 7 of the exalted bloodletters of Khorne in a single hit, and they are marked as losing currently. I believe their loyalty is also, or leadership is also suffering a little bit. Yes, it is. And that one did more damage, but didn't necessarily kill. The problem with the Soul Grinders of Tzeentch, as with the rest of the Tzeentchian army, is the fact that, although powerful, although devastating, it has absolutely 0 protection against ranged melee. It's great at range because of the barriers and the fact that it can regen the barriers. Even just a single hit, that almost takes out the entire barrier, and that, of course, is from a Exalted Bloodthirster with a ton of buffs. But these Soul Grinders of Tzeentch, they take damage. They are not meant to live forever. They do not last forever. And although, yes, very powerful, very good units, they just are not meant to be the embodiment of your army. They're more meant to play a support role and to fight from a ranged and never really engage in melee. Because as you guys saw, when they were in ranged, they did good. Now that they're in melee, they're having a very hard time. Coming in at number 3, we have another Cathayan unit, and this one is actually going to be the Terracotta Sentinel. Now, this is a very powerful unit that absolutely devastates most everything. I'm going to fast forward this because I actually have to, engage the enemy. And I do have some problems with this unit, and those will be discussed in a future video, so make sure to subscribe so that way you don't miss it, because it's the Terracotta Sentinels are number 3 for most powerful units, and also number 3 for best animations, and also number 3 for top 5 things that don't make sense in Total War Warhammer 3. So they will be appearing quite a bit. You'll be seeing quite a lot of them. Yeah, these guys are absolutely devastating. They are doing quite a bit of damage to this Exalted Bloodthirster, and he has a buff on him, Deathbringer, that increases his base weapon damage and gives him armor piercing damage plus 50%. And these guys just don't even care. They're taking a little bit of damage, but they're unbreakable, meaning that they're not going to run away in battle. They're going to fight the very death, meaning that they are just extremely powerful. They could take on this entire group if I didn't, not want to bore you to death with the world's longest battle, because I will be fast forwarding to this until I hit the end of my replay, because like I said, I don't want to bore you to death. Yeah, he's just taking on this one Exalted Bloodthirster who has the Bloodthirst bonus, actually, or had the Bloodthirst bonus a second ago, and he's winning. The Terracotta Sentinel is winning. Exalted Bloodthirsties. Well, he is bloodthirsty. Exalted Bloodthirsters are not easy things to kill. They're very difficult to bring down. Very difficult. I have seen them take shots from an entire group of the Grand Cathayan Celestial Archers and not even really pay or not even have their damage or that much damage done, but he's down to 552 health, and he just popped his his ability again, and his leadership is now in the negatives. His speed has been decreased. He's beginning to disintegrate. Crumble, sorry. Actually, what is it called in this game? Because I think they changed the names, didn't they? Oh, demonic. You have banished and demonic instability. Yeah, he's currently unstable. Well, he is about to seem to be banished, although I do not think it'll be from his own health depleting. It'll be from a smack from a nice Terracotta Sentinel. And yes, these guys are now starting to take damage, but they still have a lot of fight left in them. Because these guys, as I said, will not run. They will not run. They will not lead. Oh, maybe he is just going to banish himself. Alright. No, his leadership is back up 20 seconds. He's at 1 health. That's really impressive. Yeah, and the enemy lord is dead. And now all of these bloodthirsters are like, oh no. Even though one goes down, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The Terracotta Sentinels are powerful. Coming in at number 2, we have another Zechian unit. And don't worry, number 1 is not Cathayan. Number 1 is not Cathay in the least. And number 2 is actually the Doom Knights of Zeech. Now there is a very specific reason for this. Once again, they are flying. These, however, are not massive single entity targets that will get slaughtered like the Sky Junks. And although they are not ranged, they are very good melee. We have an Exalted Bloodthirster here who is the only unit who can engage these guys. And he is going to be ripped apart by them. And of course, as like all other Zechian units, the Doom Knights of Zeech have shields, or barriers, sorry, and the barriers will replenish after time. They can do damage to a flying unit like this Exalted Bloodthirster with all of the buffs on them as well. Dang, dude, you were not holding back anything. And then they can just outrun most everything, and then they can wait for their barriers to replenish so that way they don't take damage and charge right back in. These are the Slaneshians of the sky, basically. I do not believe that Slanesh has any flying units other than, I think, Slanesh Harpies, but I could be wrong about that. And these Zechian Doom Knights, once they get engaged like this Exalted Bloodthirster is not going to last that long. And of course, all these Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne down here, they can't do anything to help. They just have to sit back, relax, and watch as their poor leader gets absolutely butchered by a bunch of Doom Knights of Zeech. Now, there is a second one to the fact that they are flying cavalry, meaning that as this Exalted Bloodthirster is getting very low on health and is now dead, they can sit up here, replenish their barrier a little bit, and then they can charge into all of the units down here. All these melee units that I was just talking about that couldn't help, well, now they get to be absolutely harassed by a bunch of Doom Knights of Zeech. And these Doom Knights of Zeech, they do damage. They can quickly engage their enemies. And even though they're not really getting a whole lot of kills, they're still doing some nice damage to these guys. And of course, because they're flying, they can then just pull right back up and go for someone else, and they can just keep on charging and keep on harassing. Coming in at number 1, this one does not actually show its strength by itself, and these are the Strumzi. As I just said, they don't show their strength by themselves. They show their strength when they're in a large group like this. And this comes down to the fact that they have guns, and they are armor piercing, and a hybrid unit with decent melee combat abilities. Now, their melee combat is not the greatest, as you'll soon see, but look at the damage that they just did to the Exalted Bloodthirster. They just tore him apart. He is quickly dying, half health to be exact, and that was just from the first volley, and he just shot a fireball down here. Hit some guys. They did damage, but they didn't take any losses. They don't even care. He can hop right into the center of them, and they'll be able to hold him off because they're anti-large. Now, number 1 was actually a toss-up between 2 units. It was a toss-up between the Strumzi, who can even take a side flank and not care. And yeah, the enemy lord is now dead. And it was between the Strumzi and the Ice Guard Glaives. The Ice Guard Glaives, however, did not get it because of the fact that there are quite a lot of demon units that are large, and this is what the Strumzi excel at killing, because as you'll see, they can come to the side now. Even though their friends here are starting to break, it doesn't matter, because they can just come to the side and open fire into the back lines of the Exalted Bloodletters and do tons of damage to them. There are no survivors when the Strumzi come around. And the Ice Guard Glaive, unfortunately, I do not believe to be as powerful because they just don't have the bonuses in the correct places that Streltzys do in the area of anti-large and armor piercing. The Ice Guard Glaives, they just don't have it. They do not have the ability and capability to take on demons like the Streltsy do. As you can see just from the fact that they ripped right through a group of Exalted Blood. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Go down into the description of the video for the links to the Discord and to my Facebook page. And I hope you go visit the Discord. There's some guides on there. Trying to grow a community on Discord that will be very fun for more people to join. So go there, check it out. Hope to see you there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day.